So about a year and a half ago, I made this effect rack that completely changed the game for me. And I mean, this is not a clickbait or anything like that. Since I started using this effect rack, all my sounds and the quality of sounds and my production skills just skyrocket. It's a pretty simple effect rack, but it changes the sound and makes it super professional, makes it hit super hard. It just made my songs much better. I think it allowed me to produce higher quality tracks overall and tracks that hit hard. I've been using this rack every day on every single track since I made it. It just makes your sounds rich, makes them hit hard, makes them full, makes them, I don't know, kind of like have that professional processed sound, like a finished sound. And you can see right now, check this out. This is a sound without the rack and with. What the hell? Right? And you put it on it. And Jesus Christ. Some of you may know this rack from my videos. I've been using this rack on a lot of tracks and people have been asking about it. I showed it already, but it's so good that it deserves a completely separate video. And it's called The One. Basically, it's like a rack that you put on a sound and it makes it beefy. Take any sound and you can put this rack on it and see what happens, and most of the sounds just get like a huge increase in power. That was the main reason I made this rack. I think I was making gunshot in the past and I was like, I just need this gunshot to be powerful, I need to hit hard, so I made this rack. And since that time I've been using it every single day, and I can tell you that it just made my songs better. It just changes the game, and I wanted to show you what is inside, and I want you to use this too, basically, because it changed the game for me, and I think will help you too change your game. I don't know. I'm gonna be putting a link in the description. If you want, you can get it for free. So I'll make two versions because I'm using a third-party plugins right here. I'm gonna just give you two versions with third-party and without third-party. I'm gonna make something similar. I don't know if I can make it like 100% the same. So this is what we have inside. A part of making your sounds sound much professional is using smoothing tools, because more professional sounds are more likely to be smoother sounds, meaning they're gonna have less harsh frequencies or resonances. So hence why we're using Soothe to get rid of these resonances. Next thing is the transient master, so that you can control the shape of your sounds. Initially the sustain was down 100% to make the sounds very snappy and percussive. Usually it works great. Sometimes just you don't want that to be at 0. You want it even higher, like depends on the situation, like depends on what sounds better. No, in this case that works to be 100%, you know, so it depends on the scenario. Next thing is texture. So what this rack is capable of, basically, if you put it on just a saw wave, it's gonna turn just that into this sound, which is much beefier. And what I really like to do with this is I like to bump up the unisono to like 7, a little bit of the detune down, add a little bit of white noise, make it really beefy from this to this. Like, it's just so good. So what texture does is that if you have a sine wave, let's say, and add a white noise, then you add distortion, you get this really crunchy top end. Texture was designed to do this, but also to make the high end really crispy and full with frequencies. Right? Just a little bit. There's a distortion layer, so you get that crunchy sound. Then a classic OTT, time 100%, and the reason for time 100% is we want that dynamic sound. So then we have thermal, and it is a distortion plugin. It just makes your sounds super saturated. And then again, we have OTT, the same thing. Maybe I should automate this time knob, you know what? Because that's cool as hell. Maybe I'm gonna make V3. For like super squashy sounds. So OTT is there for some tone control because it sounds really pleasant with OTT. Tiny detail in this case. So then we have vocoder. Kind of makes your sound kind of like more sugary, I guess, more sweet. So then we have utility, and at the beginning of the chain we also have EQ8, which is turned off in this case, but you can do a low cut before. And that's useful because we're putting this thermal distortion right there. So if we have low end, like just the sine wave and the white noise example as I showed you, what's gonna happen is you'll get this really distorted sound unnecessarily. Like if you don't need low end in this sound, you just use a low cut. And then the sound will be processed differently because it doesn't have that sub. And then at the end there's utility for the gain control, because these sounds tend to get really loud. Then EQ8 again is here to cut the low end, because distortion mainly adds a lot of low end. If your sound doesn't have low end and you put distortion on it, you will get low end anyways. And if you don't need low end, you just cut it afterwards. And then the reverb, just to put the sound in space. And then at the end we have a limiter, so these sounds don't get that loud anymore because I put a limiter at the end. You can put a soft clipper here, I guess. Yeah, so that's gonna depend on sound. Like in this case, soft clipping is gonna work because it's more of a distorted sound. Found out it's a way to make drops really quickly. I made a few sample packs in the past. So like the Purple Dragons is for dubstep. So if I'm making a dubstep track, I like to just shift through presets while using this rack and see which one works. Some sounds work with it, some don't. So now I'm gonna do an experiment. I'm gonna turn off all the racks. I'm gonna make sure that there's no racks on these sounds. The beginning is kind of cringy, so I'm sorry. Better. So now I think it's gonna fucking sound awful as hell, but let's see. That sucks so much. Sucks such a huge ding dong, Jesus. Now I'm gonna show you with the rack. See? So that's all I fucking do is I put a sound that sucks, I put this effect rack on it, and it fucking works. That's it for this video. I just wanted to show you this effect rack and share it with you, so you can check out the link in the description. You can get it for free. Hope it's helpful. Have a great day and see ya in the next one.